Today, we journey back in time to a world buried beneath endless snow and ice, where towering giants wandered frozen plains stretching farther than the eye could see. They survived brutal winters, fought off deadly predators, and thrived for hundreds of thousands of years. Yet despite conquering one of Earth's harshest climates, they could not survive the changing world that followed. This is a remarkable story of the woolly mammoth, the Ice Age giant whose disappearance forever changed our planet. The woolly mammoth, scientifically known as Mammoths primigenius, was one of the last surviving species of mammoth. Despite their enormous size, mammoths weren't prehistoric monsters. They were close relatives of today's elephants, sharing a common ancestor that lived millions of years ago. Adult males stood between 3 and 4 meters tall at the shoulder and weighed up to 6 metric tons, roughly the weight of a large African elephant. But unlike their modern cousins, woolly mammoths were perfectly adapted for life in one of the coldest environments Earth has ever known. They first appeared around 400,000 years ago during the middle of the Ice Age and eventually spread across vast regions of Europe, Asia, and North America. For hundreds of thousands of years, they became one of the defining giants of the frozen world. Everything about the woolly mammoth was engineered by evolution to survive the cold. Its thick double-layered coat trapped heat even during temperatures below -40 degrees Celsius. Beneath the fur lay up to 10 centimeters of insulating fat. Its ears were much smaller than those of modern elephants, reducing heat loss in freezing winds. Its tail was shorter. Even its blood contained special adaptations that helped deliver oxygen efficiently in sub-zero temperatures. Its iconic tusks, sometimes reaching over 4 meters in length, were used to sweep away snow, uncover buried vegetation, defend against predators, and compete with rivals during mating season. Few mammals have ever been so perfectly designed for their environment. Contrary to popular belief, the Ice Age wasn't simply endless snow. The mammoths lived across an enormous ecosystem scientists call the Mammoth Steppe. Stretching from Western Europe across Siberia and into North America, it was the largest biome on Earth. Grasses, wildflowers, shrubs, and hardy plants covered much of the landscape during warmer months. Huge herds of mammoths shared this frozen world with woolly rhinoceroses, ancient bison, musk oxen, horses, reindeer, cave lions, and packs of wolves. It was one of the richest and most productive ecosystems ever to exist. A woolly mammoth spent nearly 18 hours every day eating. Its diet consisted mainly of grasses, sedges, flowering plants, shrubs, and occasional tree bark. An adult could consume over 100 kilograms of vegetation in a single day. Their enormous molars acted like giant grinding machines, constantly wearing down as they processed tough Ice Age plants. Over a lifetime, mammoths replaced their molars several times. Once the final set wore out, older mammoths often struggled to eat enough food to survive. Like today's elephants, woolly mammoths were highly social. Females and calves lived together in closely bonded family herds, led by experienced matriarchs. These older females remembered migration routes, seasonal feeding grounds, and safe places to raise young. Adult males usually left the herd as teenagers and spent much of their lives alone or in small bachelor groups, returning only during the breeding season. Calves remained under their mother's care for years, learning essential survival skills in one of the harshest environments on Earth. These giants weren't simply surviving, they were raising families. An adult woolly mammoth had very few natural enemies. Their immense size made them difficult targets. However, calves faced constant danger. Cave lions, wolves, and occasionally large groups of human hunters could prey upon the young or weakened individuals. When threatened, mammoth herds formed protective circles around their calves, using their massive bodies and deadly tusks as living shields. For hundreds of thousands of years, this strategy worked remarkably well. The extinction of the woolly mammoth wasn't caused by a single disaster. Instead, it was a result of two powerful forces working together. As the last ice age ended around 11,700 years ago, Earth's climate began warming rapidly. The vast grasslands that mammoths depended upon gradually transformed into forests, wetlands, and tundra. Food became scarcer. Migration routes disappeared. Populations became increasingly isolated. At the same time, humans were spreading across much of the northern hemisphere. Although scientists continue to debate the exact contribution of human hunting, archaeological evidence shows that people hunted mammoths for meat, hides, bones, and ivory. Today, the strongest evidence suggests climate change and human pressure together pushed mammoths toward extinction. Their world disappeared faster than they could adapt. Most woolly mammoths disappeared around 10,000 years ago, but a small population survived on Wrangel Island in the Arctic Ocean. Isolated from the mainland, these mammoths lived for another 6,000 years. Incredibly, they were still alive while humans were building the pyramids of ancient Egypt. Eventually, even these final survivors vanished. The age of mammoths had come to an end. Today, the woolly mammoth lives on through extraordinary discoveries. Perfectly preserved bodies have emerged from Siberian permafrost with fur, skin, muscles, and even stomach contents remarkably intact. These frozen remains have transformed our understanding of Ice Age life. Scientists are now studying mammoth DNA in hopes of understanding extinct ecosystems and, in some research programs, exploring the possibility of recreating mammoth-like traits in modern elephants. Whether or not mammoths ever walk the earth again, they remain one of evolution's greatest success stories and one of its greatest losses. For nearly 500,000 years, the woolly mammoth conquered one of the harshest worlds our planet has ever known. It survived predators, blizzards, and endless winters. But when the world changed, even a giant could not change with it. Nature does not promise survival to the biggest or the strongest. It rewards those who can adapt. And sometimes, even legends leave behind nothing but footprints in the ice and stories waiting to be told.